Picture this, you're sprawled on the couch, dreaming of finally beating your know-it-all cousin at a board game, when your phone starts screaming like it's auditioning for a disaster flick. The screen's glowing with an alert that says, DEFCON 1, hide under the bed. You rub your eyes, thinking, is this a prank? Or did I sleep through the apocalypse? Then another message hits, missile launches detected. Suddenly, your biggest worry isn't your empty fridge, it's whether you've got enough cereal to survive. World War III. This isn't some TikTok conspiracy about aliens or a 49-day countdown to doom. According to Reuters, Russia's parading its fancy Yars missiles like they're in a car show. And Iran's uranium is so enriched it's practically signing up for a PhD. Says the International Atomic Energy Agency, IAEA. These are real moves, folks. And we're here to break it down without making you panic buy canned beans. Let's get to the juicy stuff. Russia's acting like it's ready to star in a Cold War reboot. Reuters and United 24 Media report that in early September 2025, Russia rolled out its RS-24 Yars missile for some high-profile drills, basically shouting, "Hey, NATO, check out our shiny toys." The Yars isn't your grandpa's clunky rocket. It's a road-mobile intercontinental ballistic missile that can zip across the globe with multiple nuclear warheads, dodging defenses like a pro. Jane's Defense Weekly says these drills had Yars launchers cruising highways, weaving through forests, and chilling in rural backyards, escorted by security convoys and tech to jam spy satellites. It's like Russia turned its missiles into a traveling circus, complete with bomber jets and ground units practicing a full-on nuclear show. Unlike sneaky snap drills, these were announced loud and proud by the Russian Defense Ministry, covered by BBC, and meant to make the West sweat. Why the big flex? It's no coincidence this happened as NATO beefed up arms to Ukraine and parked new battle groups in Poland, the Baltics, and Romania. BBC. Liantianling Arshawu. Russia's basically saying, you poke our backyard, we wave our big sticks. The Yars is a star player in Russia's nuclear playbook mobile. Hard to hit, and built to survive a first strike. According to the Diplomat's 2025 analysis, Reuters quotes a former U.S. Stratcom advisor saying, this isn't just showboating, Russia's proving its nukes can move faster than your Amazon delivery. The timing's spicy too. These drills hit as the U.S. and EU announced more aid to Ukraine, and NATO ran its own exercises in the Baltic Sea. It's like Russia saw NATO's poker bet and raised it with a nuclear bluff. Or is it? Here's the kicker, these aren't rumors. Satellite imagery from Jane's Defense Weekly shows Yars launchers on the move, backed by logistics trucks and anti-spy gear. Russian state media's hyping the Yars like it's the iPhone of missiles, boasting it can punch through any defense. This isn't just flexing for Instagram likes, it's a signal to NATO, the U.S., and even their own people, that Russia's ready to roll if things get ugly. The BBC calls it an unmistakable deterrent signal. Like Russia's leaving a post-it note on the West's fridge, don't mess with us. And with tensions hotter than a summer barbecue, thanks to Ukraine and NATO's expansion, this is less a stunt and more a warning shot. So, while you're Googling, what's DEFCON 1? Let's pivot to another hotspot. Iran's cooking something spicy. And it's not just hummus. Now, let's zoom to the Middle East, where Iran's playing a high-stakes game of how close can we get to a nuke without starting a brawl. According to Reuters and the IAEA's 2025 report, Iran's uranium enrichment is at 60%, so close to weapons-grade 90%, it's like they're one Red Bull away from finishing the job. The IAEA says Iran's got enough juice to go nuclear in weeks, if the boss, Ayatollah Khamenei, says go. Speaking of, Al Jazeera and Deutsche Welle report Khamenei's been waving his fist, promising to hit back hard if anyone looking at you. Israel bombs their facilities again. This isn't just talk. Israel's been playing whack-a-mole with Iranian sites. But The Guardian says they haven't dented Iran's core stockpiles or slowed their uranium party. Why is this a big deal? Because Iran's not just tinkering in a basement lab. New York Times reports show U.S. satellites spotting extra hustle at Fordo and Natanz, Iran's top enrichment spots, with new defenses and underground bunkers. It's like Iran's fortifying their treehouse before the neighborhood bullies show up. Jane's Defense Weekly adds that Iran's moved missile units to western Iraq and southern Syria, close enough to eyeball U.S. bases and allied targets. One wrong move, like Israel launching a bigger strike, could turn the Persian Gulf into a geopolitical mosh pit, with the U.S. and its buddies dragged in. Europe's freaking out too. France, Germany, and the UK are begging for talks, but also hinting at tougher sanctions or even military action if Iran crosses the line. Per Reuters, this isn't some viral Iran's got a nuke tomorrow panic. IAEA inspectors confirm the 60% enrichment. And the risk isn't just a bomb, it's that Iran's sprint to the finish line might force a preemptive strike. Imagine the chaos. Iran retaliates, hits U.S. bases, blocks Gulf shipping, and suddenly your gas prices make your wallet cry. This is what the video means by tripwires one spark, and the whole region's lit up. But wait, there's a plot twist. Russia's missile parade isn't just about scaring NATO. Foreign Affairs and United 24 media say Moscow's also winking at Iran and China, saying, hey, we're still big players. By flexing its Yars missiles, Russia's reminding everyone it can juggle multiple war zones while sipping borscht. The diplomat notes this timing's no accident, as the West juggles Ukraine, Taiwan, and Iran. Russia's like, bet you can't catch all these balls. It's a strategic flex, showing they can shift the global chessboard if pushed. Here's where it gets tricky. BBC and Stratfor warn that when you've got three hotspots, Ukraine, the Gulf, Taiwan cooking at once, the odds of someone tripping over a red line skyrocket. It's like trying to juggle flaming torches while riding a unicycle. One misread signal, a Russian jet buzzing too close, an Iranian missile test gone wrong could start a chain reaction. And unlike those September 1st attack rumors, the video debunked. These moves are backed by hard evidence, satellite photos, IAEA reports, and official statements. Reuters even notes a spike in military chatter and back-channel diplomacy in early September 2025. Like the world's whispering, let's not blow this up. Okay, so how do you know if this is serious or just global posturing? It's not about who's yelling loudest on TV. Watch the moves. Russia's Yars trucks hitting the road, NATO quietly beefing up air defenses, Iran fortifying its nuke sites. These aren't TikTok trends, they're real. Per Reuters and BBC. It's like spotting your neighbor moving heavy furniture at midnight, not just noise, but a sign something's up. Let's wrap this part with a question: if the world's this messy, is the West ready to play whack-a-mole on three fronts? Or are we one bad day from a geopolitical faceplant? Okay, let's talk patterns, because the world's not ending tomorrow. But it's definitely sending some cranky texts. The video's big insight is, this real escalation isn't about viral doomsday and 49 days nonsense. It's about actions you can see, like Russia's Yars missiles taking a joyride or Iran's uranium hitting the gym. Stratfor and Jane's Defense Weekly say the key is watching for unannounced moves like sudden U.S. carrier group shifts, mass embassy alerts, or Iran test-firing missiles they call defensive, but look an awful lot like war prep. BBC spotted new trenches near the Belarus-Ukraine border in September 2025. Confirmed by open-source intel. That's not just dirt, it's a sign someone's planning for trouble. Here's the deal. Escalation looks like resources moving. not just leaders shouting. When Russia rolls out mobile launchers, NATO boosts AWACS flights, or Iran digs deeper bunkers. It's like your dog hiding bones before a storm. Reuters says military communications spiked in early September 2025, with diplomats scurrying behind closed doors. Add in oil price jitters and new sanctions talk, and you've got a recipe for something spicier than your average news cycle. Why is this all happening now? Foreign Affairs explains it's a test of overstretch. The U.S. is sending tanks to Ukraine, drilling with Japan in the Pacific, and eyeing Iran's nuke labs, all while trying not to trip over its own shoelaces. Russia and Iran see this and think, perfect time to poke the bear. It's like they're betting the West's too busy to cover every base. The video points out a sneaky pattern. Adversaries are syncing their moves. Russia flexes when NATO's distracted. Iran ramps up when Israel's twitchy. It's not a conspiracy, it's strategy, per BBC analysts. So, how do you stay sane when the world's playing nuclear chicken? Focus on facts, not fear. Ignore X-posts about secret attack plans. Stick to what's verified satellite data. IAEA reports. Official statements. The videos write rumors spread faster than your aunt's gossip. But real signals are boring stuff like troop movements or supply chain shifts. For example, if Iran starts live-fire missile tests like they did in 2024, per Jane's, or if U.S. carriers suddenly hightail it to the Gulf, that's your cue to pay attention, not panic. Looking ahead, Russia's likely to keep parading its nukes to strong-arm talks on Ukraine and NATO, says Stratfor. Iran will keep dancing on the nuclear tightrope, pushing just shy of a bomb to flex without sparking war. Per Reuters, the West, it's juggling flaming torches and praying not to drop one. The next few weeks are key watch for quiet moves like NATO reinforcing borders or Iran staging defensive drills. These aren't headlines, they're the real deal. Here's your takeaway: don't get suckered by hype. Preparedness isn't about building a bunker or hoarding spam. It's about staying sharp, knowing the difference between a real signal and social media noise. The video's call to action: be the person who reads Reuters, not Reddit. Subscribe to channels like Safety Zone for no BS breakdowns. And drop a comment. What freaks you out more? Russia's missile road trip or Iran's uranium glow-up? Let's build a crew that cuts through the chaos, not adds to it. Oh, and one last tip. Maybe stock a few extra cans of soup, just in case. Not because the world's ending, but because you don't want to be the guy fighting your neighbor for the last ramen pack when the news gets weirder. Stay cool, stay curious, and we'll keep you posted on what's actually worth worrying about.